Hello, Belly Dance Stories, Summer Fridays. My name is Alexandra. I am one of the founders of Belly Dance Stories, and I am on my vacation, but I wanted to film one of my favorite belly dance combination hip work movements for you because the mountains are an amazing opportunity to, number one, check in with your breath work. Different altitude, right? For a city girl that it was born in Miami and lives on sea level, being up in the mountains is one of my favorite places to be because it helps me feel the environment a little more. It helps me become more aware of my balance, especially doing a lot of trails, going up on hikes, going through waterfalls and little creeks. And I was thinking that this would be a perfect movement to teach you. So it looks like this. And it is a really popular belly dance move that I get asked about. And it's a combination of movements. So I hope that the way that I teach it resonates with you. But if it doesn't, it's okay. Most likely at some point in your belly dance journey, you're going to meet a teacher where their explanation matches with yours or somehow it clicks with you. But if for some reason this way that I teach it clicks with you, perfect. You let me know in those comments. So let's get started here on our mini class for Summer Fridays with Belly Dance Stories. The first thing that we're going to do is ground our footing here. The feet are so important for this movement because, and I'm going to move back a little bit here. You're going to see that, hopefully you see here, that my feet are going to adjust to where my pelvic floor is facing. Okay, at least the heels are going to release when I do this figure 8 on my hips. And this is a horizontal figure 8. Some people call it a jewel. I wasn't taught to call it a jewel. I was taught to call it an Egyptian figure 8. But hey, you know what? We've got names for all sorts of movements that they're different for a lot of people. But take your hips and move in a horizontal, backwards, outward figure 8. So you're going outward and back behind your shoulder, outward and back behind your shoulder. This is the base move for this combination of hips. Now, the second thing that we're going to work on is the control in our psoas muscle here. And this is a muscle that attaches from your hip bone back to your spine. And what it does is on these diagonals, it brings your hip inward into your torso, into your core area. All right, so you can try doing just one hip at a time and going in and releasing, up and in and releasing, and think of diagonals inward because this core exercise here is going to be really helpful for when you twist and bring in that hip. All right, so we're going to also use our hands for reference so that our mind and our body can connect. When I teach my mindful belly dance classes, I like to use my hands a lot because it is a quicker connection into the mind and then into the body. So with our hands facing flat down, wrists over our hips, we're going to move in that outward figure 8, feeling that floor, adjusting your balance. And then once we finish one side of the figure 8, let's say we are on the left side, we're going to bring the right hip inward. This is part of the juiciness of the hips, is all this core control. Core doesn't just mean abdominals. Core means all of the muscles that are wrapping around, my microphone, that are wrapping around your torso. So that applies to your upper back. It applies to all of the muscles in here. So you do want to make this extremely aware and warmed up while you're doing this move, okay? So we're gonna try. Coming out, you're gonna press out into one side and the opposite hip is gonna curl inward. Then you're gonna press out into the other side and the opposite is gonna curl inward. Now I'm gonna move a little bit backwards so you can see my feet a little bit. Hopefully you do in the camera. But I'm gonna keep my feet at a good distance, not too far in either, unless you're ready and you have the core strength that will apply to this. But I'm going to press down, flat foot, into that hip that I'm gonna do that figure 8. And the other heel is gonna come up so I can adjust my hips to roll inward. Then that foot is gonna plant and ground itself down, pressing out my hip, and then I'm gonna come back in. Step, round, in. Outward, backwards, inward. Outwards, backwards, inwards. So the hands are gonna roll in and out. Roll out. Out, then come in. Out, then come in. Now, some teachers might explain this as a twist inward. So you're gonna roll out, then come in. Do half of the figure 8, come in. Sometimes when we go faster with this movement, it looks like there's a tiny little twist there. So we're gonna try this together. We're gonna go 1, 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Down, twist in, down, twist in, down, twist in. And that's a little twist forward and inward. All right, so down, twist in, down, twist in, down, twist in, down. On this one side, twist forward to get yourself ready, then come in with that core. Down, twist, come in with that core. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. And then when you're ready to bring your feet closer for better technique and aesthetics, I highly recommend it because we dance barefoot most of the time in belly dance. But regardless of the aesthetic, we do need to feel that floor. It's really important to feel the floor, not just from the toes and the ball joints, but also the heels. So grounding outdoors, let's say you're in sand or on not a flat surface like how I am right now, it makes me way more aware of where I'm stepping, and hi little bird, and it helps me ground my muscles. It helps me strengthen that core and my feet muscles, okay? Your feet are number one. At least that's where I start. That's very valuable for me. So we're gonna try this again. And figure 8, twist, lock in. Figure 8, twist, lock in. We go 1 and 2, 1 and 2. And don't forget to breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. 1 and 2. It's almost like water. And once you get the hang of it, once you get the core started, then you can really roll in. I'm gonna show you sideways, okay? Because there is a little bit of a depth that goes with the hips. Forward and in and back into that tailbone. So here we go, I'm gonna show you. We're gonna go twist out, bring it in. 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 And 1 and 2. 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. It's all that core, okay? It's your knees moving, it's your knees bending, it's your lungs breathing. Do that breath work check. Step and in, step and in. Okay, so it's a combination. I don't really know what to call it really, because we're not just doing that figure 8, we're also bringing in that torso, but it is so beautiful. It's such a good, juicy movement to do with your hips, and you can add so many things on top. You can do a pose. You can challenge yourself to bring your arms up. Don't forget to breathe. And then you can challenge yourself to step out and come into a circle, whatever you'd like. So I hope this little tutorial helped, and if you have any questions, just feel free to message or send it into the comments. Mwah! Happy Friday, y'all.